The latest now on our ICE Inc. investigation. It is our commitment here at Scripps News to follow the money, how your tax dollars flow to private companies that are making big bucks by locking up ICE targets. Our investigation has uncovered more than a dozen businesses with multi-million-dollar contracts to visit the homes of immigrant children. Homeland Security calls them welfare checks. The signs, though, say otherwise. Scripps News investigative correspondent Patrick Terpstra joins us now. And Patrick, a lot of questions and also fear about exactly what these companies are getting paid to do.
Yeah, exactly, Del. The question is, are these 18 companies that just got contracts really doing these safety and wellness checks, or is this part of a bigger plan to identify more young immigrants for detention and deportation? We agreed to identify this 21-year-old immigrant only by her middle name, Nicole, because she fears retaliation by ICE. Nicole came to the U.S. in 2019 from Honduras.
Como que yo miraba como que los jóvenes estaban desperdiciando su vida y yo quería algo diferente en mi vida.
It took months for her to make it to the border, a journey mostly on foot, part of it on a cargo train.
La Bestia, le llaman un tren que se llama La Bestia, y que tú tienes que subirte y tú para bajarte de ese tren tienes que tirarte, porque realmente tu vida la pones en riesgo cuando tú vienes a este país.
And you were just 15?
Sí, tenía 15 años.
Nicole is one of hundreds of thousands of young immigrants who came to the U.S. as unaccompanied children, placed by the U.S. government in homes of adult sponsors. For Nicole, that was her father in Texas. The Department of Health and Human Services sent social workers to check on unaccompanied immigrant children like Nicole.
Trabajadores sociales para ver si todo estaba bien, si donde yo vivía estaba cómoda y si había comida y todo eso.
Now, under the Trump administration, ICE is in charge of those visits. Scripps News has learned ICE has given contracts to 18 private companies to visit addresses on file for 100,000 unaccompanied children, but also 250,000 former unaccompanied children who are now 18 to 21 years old. The contracts say each company will go to a minimum of 1,000 homes, saying the aim is to ensure the young immigrants are not victims of human trafficking or other crimes. But immigration advocates argue the plan is something very different, a vast new enforcement operation designed to identify people for deportation, reward contractors based on how many children they find, and replace child welfare workers with companies that, in many cases, have little or no experience protecting children. Michael Lukens is executive director of the Emica Center for Immigrant Rights.
This is a facade so that DHS can find children, try and bully them into self-deportation, to find out who they're living with, to do collateral arrests.
During the home visits, the companies must assess and document any signs of abuse, abandonment, neglect, or trafficking, but also inform the children and sponsors about their legal responsibilities, confirm the address listed in immigration court records, and update ICE systems of record.
There is no part of DHS's mandate that includes the welfare of children.
Scripps News' review of the 18 companies granted contracts found that most of them, 12 in all, appear to have no documented experience with child welfare. National Protective Services, based in a Texas strip mall, won a contract worth $1.2 million with a potential to make up to $207 million. Online, the company does not mention any experience with child services, but does advertise fugitive recovery, self-defense karate, and locksmith services. Severn Security, run out of a house in Alabama, got a contract worth $4.8 million up front and up to $358 million. Its website shows they offer armed security, disaster response, workplace violence prevention, but nothing about ensuring children's safety. No one from either business would respond to our questions. All 18 companies will get paid based on the number of children they find, according to the contracts.
So what we're talking about is essentially bounty hunting. I think the government wants to deport lots of children, and this is the easiest path forward.
DHS tells us in a statement, awards were made to all qualified vendors that were determined to represent the best value to the government. The Safety Verification Initiative represents ICE's commitment to protect vulnerable children from sexual abuse and exploitation. Nicole is now in college, studying to become a teacher while working part-time in a doctor's office. She has protection known as Special Immigrant Juvenile Status and authorization to work in the U.S., but has been waiting years now to be able to apply for a green card.
Veo un carro y ya siento que es como ICE, ¿entiende? Como que uno tiene la mente como que this gonna happen to me, you know?
What would happen if you were to get sent back to Honduras?
Yo siento que lo que pasaría en Honduras es que mi vida va a cambiar totalmente porque no hay educación, allá no hay futuro para mí, entonces va a ser un poco difícil. Aquí tienes tu futuro, básicamente, sueño que puedes cumplir y aquí puedes ser mejor persona.
And one thing that is clear from talking to a number of people that work with these unaccompanied children, it does not sound like these visits have begun yet. DHS not saying when these companies might actually start knocking on doors again. Talking about hundreds of thousands of current and former unaccompanied minors. The contracting documents that I took a look at said that they anticipated work to begin 60 days after these contracts were awarded. So that would put that at the beginning of August next week. Del.
As we pointed out, we follow the money here at Scripps News. Our investigative correspondent, Patrick Terpstra. Patrick, as always, thank you.